Hello again. Let's begin with the looping statements now. All right, so let's go on to Python 3 and learn how to loop. Looping is basically done when you want to do a task again and again multiple times based on a particular condition. When a condition is fulfilled, it will execute the loop, and when the condition does not get fulfilled, it will jump out of the loop or it will stop executing the loop. So that's why hence called as a loop. Now, loops in Python are very similar to looping statements or are quite similar to looping statements which are there in other programming languages, though we shall deal with them a little in detail. For now, let's say you might have all heard about the while loop, so I'll just open a new file. I'll save this as loops in my IoT basics loops.py. Let me save it here, and let me say a while loop is nothing but while the condition is true. So every looping statement requires three things. Number one, it requires something called as initialization. Number two, it requires something called as condition. And third is updation. Three things which are required for loops. So what is the meaning of an initialization? Let's say there is a variable or a counter which is used to keep a count of how much the loop should run. Let's say this particular variable, I initialize it to a particular value. For now, it is 0. And then I need to have a condition. The condition is specified in my looping statement while. So this is my looping statement while, and in that I'm going to say a condition. Let's say while I less than 10. Okay. Colon, enter, indentation. Right? You just need to print for now. Let's just print I, right? Once we do that, correct? So we print that out. Let's say function, function F5. Yep. What's the problem? I didn't do the third thing. What is the problem? I did initialization. I put the condition, but I didn't update. I didn't update what? I didn't update the variable. It will keep printing I, and it will go back. What is I? 0. Is 0 less than 10? Yes. Print 0. Go back. Check if I less than 10. Oh, I is still 0. Is 0 less than 10? Yes. So you need to update this value of I inside the loop. Let's say I plus equal to 1 using an assignment operator. Now I have updated it. Now if I run this, it will go from 0 to 9, less than 10, right? So this is where you have your initialization. This is where you have your condition. And this is where you have your updation. Clear? Oops. Cool. Okay. So this are the three things that are required for loops. All right. Now what we're going to do is, this is about a while loop. Now if I take, of course, I can change this value to a user defined value or something like that. Let's say I take a value from the user. The user value that I take is input, enter a number. Okay. Whatever the number he or she enters will be converted into an integer and stored into a variable, let's say num. Okay, let's say user entered 20. So I want that while I less than 20, print I plus equal to 1, or I less than the number which the user has entered, be it whatever. I want to print I. That's what I want to do. So let's say F5, okay, run. If I say 30, it will enter all the numbers from 0 to 29. starting from 0. Is that clear? Yes. What if I want all the odd numbers from 0 to 29 to be printed? I don't want all the numbers, but I want all the odd numbers from 0 to 30 to be printed. What should I do? I should say print what? While I less than num, I should have a selection statement inside. I should check, okay, when I've come inside with value of I, so I can be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. When I is 0, I need to check if I modulus 2, that's for an even number, it should be equal to 0. Odd number, it should be not equal to 0. So if I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, then let me print I. But I need to update I anyway. I should not update I only if it goes inside the loop, right? So I should update I anyway, so the I plus equal to 1 can be there outside of the if. Function F5, enter a number 30. It will print me all the odd numbers from 0 to 30. Clear? Alright, so this is how you have condition, or how you have a selection statement within a looping statement. Hope that is clear. Right, now we can go on to another looping statement, which is a bit different from the normal looping statements in other programming languages. The looping statement is called as for loop. So we open a new file. Let's save it over here itself as for loop. Okay. Let me say again, for loop requires a function called as range, a built-in function called as range. How do I check for a built-in function? Let's have a look at the documentation. Having a look at the documentation, which means I'm going to I'm going to look at in my Windows itself. I'm not going to look in my Raspberry Pi environment, which means I need to come out of my Raspberry Pi environment. I'll exit the full screen out here. I'll then open the Chrome, which is there on my Windows, and I'm going to check. What am I going to check? I'm going to check the documentation, right? Python 3 documentation. docs.python.org. Alright, in that the built-in functions, I directly went there. There is a function called as range, which we're going to use. What does range take? Range can take either one parameter, that is stop, or it can take two parameters, that is start and stop, or it can take three parameters, that is start, stop, and step. So what is a range? Rather than being a function, range is actually an immutable sequence type. Okay, what does it do? It gives you a range of numbers from the start till the stop. Okay, alright. So it will give you a range of numbers from the start till the stop. That's what we're going to do. Alright, so understanding that, let's go back. And I'll go full screen here. For, now I said there are three things required: initialization, condition, updation. All three things are looked after by range, because range has three things. If you remember, range has the start, it has the stop value, and it has the updation value, which means the step value. It has the step, start, stop, and step. When you don't give any start and step, when you just say range of 10, which means you have given only one parameter. When you have given only one parameter, it takes it not for the start, but it takes it for the stop, right? So 10 is for stop, the stop value, which means the start value has got to be a default value. What is the default value? 0. Step value is also default. So in range, I can write there as a comment, start equal to 0 and step equal to +1 are default argument. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say for, you can take any variable. Let's say for I in range For I in range what? You can either give a stop. Let's say just a stop for now. 10, print I. That is 0 to 9. Oh, so that means the default start is 0. The step is +1. But the last stop is not included. The last stop is exclusive, which means it goes only up till 9. So there will be one value less always, right? We need to remember that when we do this further. All right. For now, let's run this out. That's fine. Let me give a start. I want to start from 2 and go up till 10 in steps of 5. So I'll have 2, 10, right? So it will go from 2 till 9. What if I change the step? What if I make it 2 instead of 1, right? If it is 1, the increment will happen by 1. If it is 2, the increment will happen by 2, which means it starts from 2, increments by 2, 2 plus 2, 4. Updation level is +2. That's how the for works out here. Let's say you start up from 10 and you want to go till 2. From 10 to 2 in steps of -1, right? So if you do that, F5, okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 2 is exclusive, 10 is inclusive. Remember that always. That's about a for loop. So again, over here, you can print all the numbers which are even numbers. You can also say for I in range 10 to 2 -1, if I mod 2 equal is 0, print I. Here, I don't need any updation to be defined inside the for. It's there taken care of by range, right? 10, 8, 6, 4, right? It prints only the even numbers from 10 to 2 in steps of -1. Hope that is very clear for now, right? So this is about a for loop. This is about, we just saw about a while loop some time back, right?